Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. As the ODM party leader, Raila Odinga, traverses the country, ostensibly to listen to the opinions of his supporters as to whether he should support William Ruto or support the Rigathi Gachagua side, the writings are on the wall. It is now official that Raila is going to work with William Ruto. It is not a question of if, because the writings are on the wall and there are undercut deals that are being implemented. Many political pundits had predicted that Raila was indeed going to work with William Ruto. And the first sign was seen when the High Court ruled that the Azimio party was the majority party. And Moses Wetangula overruled the decision of the three-judge bench that had given Raila the authority to rule and command parliament. People had warned that it was going to be very chaotic, and they said that they don't feel the juicy part of the broad-based government. In a quick rejoinder, William Ruto summoned Junet on that very evening, and they hatched a deal. They told the ODM side, or the Azimio side, that they should let Ruto's party be the majority. But William Ruto was also willing to reciprocate by letting go the very lucrative parliamentary committees. And the people who are being targeted were the Rigathi Gachagua allies. And so today, that deal was implemented because many of Rigathi allies were ejected from their parliamentary committees, especially the chairman. And one name that has been trending today on social media is Ndindi Nyoro, who was the chairperson of the Budget and Appropriation Committee. Sam Atandi, that is my member of parliament, Alego Songa, is the one who has taken over the Budget and Appropriation Committee. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the decision to eject Rigathi allies has also caused a ripple effect in the ODM, because we understand that several members of parliament were clamoring to get the very lucrative committees. And one of them was the Budget and Appropriation Committee. And already there is a fight in ODM. Listen to Osoro explaining just how many members of parliament had lined up to be part and parcel of the Budget and Appropriation Committee.
I mean, over 90 members showed interest, Honorable Speaker, to be members of the Budget and Appropriation Committee, which wasn't very, very easy, Honorable Speaker. It wasn't very, very, very easy. I mean, 90, yet the provision of the study guide only provides for 27, Honorable Speaker. So the only way one can balance such, Honorable Speaker, is through coming up with a formula. And that formula, as I've said, Honorable Speaker, is the regional issue, the question of gender, the question of political affiliation, and negotiations and counter negotiations, Honorable Speaker. So this hasn't been very easy, and that is why we really urge this House to support this list as it is.
Now, Honorable Millie Odhiambo, who is the minority chief, was pleading with the members of parliament because this almost broke the party into pieces. And she's now pleading with the members of parliament that it is not being in the committees that will make a change, but your contribution in parliament.
But Mr. Speaker, there are also members that have shown different interests in different other committees, and there are also some vacancies that were rising either because a member has passed on or because a member lost the seat. And so, Mr. Speaker, we have done that as well. Mr. Speaker, one of the things I would wish to indicate is that when we are doing this process, I requested our side for members to show interest in different positions. Mr. Speaker, more than 40 members indicated interest in changing committees. And Mr. Speaker, with that in mind, and again, I think the majority whip indicated that most members were interested mainly or primarily in 4 committees, including one committee in which I serve, and I've actually had to let go of the committee. And Mr. Speaker, despite that, you will still find that members are still, some members may not feel like their interests have been met. We just wish to indicate it would have been my wish and my choice that everybody got what they wanted, but unfortunately the positions that are there are not enough. I would also wish to indicate, Mr. Speaker, that members can also borrow from me. Last parliament, I was only in one committee, but I'm here again still serving my 4th term. So sometimes it's not committees that make a difference. It's the work you do in this house, and it's the work you do for your constituents.
Remember just the other day, the supporting member of parliament, Caleb Amisu, was saying that severally Raila Odinga has promised him that he was going to be the chair of the pact, Parliamentary Accounts Committee. But he says there are people who surround Raila Odinga who does not want him to be there. And this just tells you just how delicate and precarious the situation is for Raila Odinga and the ODM party. But ladies and gentlemen, we all know that this is happening because William Ruto is trying to incorporate Raila's people in the government. And he's doing this to punish Rigathi Gachagua allies. But what caught my attention is not even that one. What caught my attention is the fact that even as they try to purge the members that are allied to Rigathi Gachagua, they are not following the law. You know, our parliament has become a house of jokers and a house of shame. It is now coming out very clearly that instead of following the parliamentary procedures, instead of following the standing orders, and ensure that even if they are removing those who are allied to Rigathi Gachagua, they follow the law, they have decided to breach the law. Remember, this is the house that must be a serious house that can be. Do you think we can compare our house to the House of Commons? This is a place where members of parliament have got 3 roles: to legislate, make laws that affect us directly. They're supposed to play an oversight role. They need to checkmate the executive, and they need to represent us. But I want you to listen to Onesmus Gogoyo exposing Wetangula and the whole house, how they are breaching the law as they want to remove him from the cabinet. And he's saying, I'm ready to go, but I want to ensure that we follow the law. Because these people now want to take advantage. They have decided that they no longer take their business seriously.
Mr. Speaker, I am a member of the Departmental Committee on Energy or on Environment. And Mr. Speaker, if I have been removed, the standing orders provide that 176 shall apply on standing order 216. It is even written there. Mr. Speaker, you cannot remove a member from a committee. I am not in the list on the Committee on Environment, Forestry and Mining, which I was nominated to at the beginning of this parliament. Mr. Speaker, even if Osoro, even if Ichungwa does not want me in this committee, you must remove me procedurally. Give me a hearing, notify the Speaker to give me a notice. Mr. Speaker, it will not be in order to continue with whatever is happening here, because it is okay to remove me. It is within the procedure and rules. These standing orders, Mr. Speaker, you are one of the creators of these standing orders. I have used them for the last 12 years. I was a whip of a county assembly, so I know how to use standing orders. You cannot remove me without, I need letters written to me. Accord me a hearing. After according me a hearing, now give notice to the Speaker. The Speaker will tell me within 3 days, you cannot remove me in the morning. I have been a member of this committee and I cannot remove in the manner in which you want to remove me. However powerful you might be, Mr. Speaker, it is not correct. Whatever has been tabled before this House, Mr. Speaker, is kangaroo, it is null and void, it cannot operate because they are standing orders and the procedure and rules of this House, the traditions. When Mheshimiwa Kimani Ichung'wah, when several honorable members were de-whipped from committees, the Honorable Wangwe, who is the immediate former whip, wrote letters to specific members. And apart from that, the communications were done directly to the Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I cannot be removed from us, and the Speaker cannot oversee my removal from a committee, a departmental committee, without me being discharged by my political party. And Mr. Speaker, because you are the Solomon of this House, kindly do not proceed with this motion in the state that it is, and it will be a procedural wrong. This is the making of Kimani Ichung'wah, which cannot work in this assembly. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, you will agree with me that we are setting a very bad precedent as a country. And I always say on this channel, I have a problem with people who are being paid by taxpayers' money, Kenyans who work hard to ensure that they pay taxes to maintain our parliamentarians or any public officers who do not take their work and responsibility seriously. They are now making it a trend that we cannot follow the law. You see, when the High Court decided that the Azimio was the majority party, that is what was supposed to happen. In fact, Azimio should have gone to court to seek legal redress that you had pronounced yourself on this, but now the Speaker of the National Assembly is now overruling you, so that we set a very good standard for us that there are separation of powers. But once they let that go, see how what we have degenerated into. Because Onesmus Mukoko is saying that you need to write letters officially, then you address the Speaker, and the Speaker should give them a 3 days notice. Now they wake up in the morning and they are packed, they just removed just because they are allies of Rigathi Gachagua. Well, I don't have a problem with that. Politics is full of betrayal. But even if as you do that, I have a problem by doing it without following the law. Just like Onesmus is saying, I know I am wanted here by Kimani Ichung'wah and Osoro, but let us follow the law. The reason why it is good to follow the law, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow these parliamentarians will get to parliament and they want to pass certain punitive laws. And they will be saying that from today, we don't want Kenyans grouping in a group of 4-4. But you are told, if ever you will be caught relaxing somewhere and you are more than 4, then you are told the 5th person must go or you are arrested. This is how dictatorship gets into the country, because parliamentarians don't follow the law. They do not use the standing orders. They wake up and they want to do whatever they want because they are punishing their fellows who are on the other side. The good thing for me is that people like Ndindi Nyoro are doing a good work at the constituency level because their boss are the people who elected them. It doesn't matter. These committees are just by the way, and I know they are clamoring for it, just like Millie Odhiambo is saying. These people are doing it because there are privileges that come with it. That is why they are clamoring, very many of them, to get those positions. So people like Ndindi Nyoro, it's okay. Let them be paid. But as long as you are working for your people, it's okay. Baba Wino was elected or nominated the best member of parliament in the country for using the NGCDF. He was followed by Ndindi Nyoro, people like Salasia, people like Caleb Amisi, those young politicians. And as long as you are in good standing with your people, it's okay to be removed. We only have 2 years and people are going back to the elections. For people like Kimani Ichung'wah, if William Ruto is not going to be re-elected, that is the end. I hope he's making a lot of money from taxpayers' coffers, because I don't think he's going to see the light of day. Maybe he will be appointed as a minister or something. So we are reducing our house into a house of jokers. Number 2, our parliament is proving that it has been captured by the executive. Do you remember how June last year, these people hurriedly passed the Finance Bill 2024, thinking that it was going to be business as usual? Then this is what brought the Gen Zs to the streets. They went to the streets and it was total mayhem. William Ruto was scared stiff. And you know what happened? William Ruto succumbed, but he also was in charge of a police that was very brutal on our Gen Zs. They were kidnapped, maimed, and killed. But had our parliamentarians been so principled, had they used their autonomy that Kenyans have given them in the constitution, they would have voted in accordance to what Kenyans wanted. So our parliament has been captured by the executive, because what is now happening is that they are following the orders of William Samoei Ruto and maybe Raila Odinga. Some people are saying that Raila is a co-president. Whatever he wants happens. But apart from that, Raila is also being managed by William Ruto. So ladies and gentlemen, our parliament is never free. And there is a danger in it. You know, when you elect your members of parliament, you believe that they are going to represent you, because in our millions, we cannot occupy parliament. That is why we elect senators and members of the National Assembly to represent us, but they do not do their representative properly. Instead of following what we want, because democracy demands that it is a government of the people, by the people, for the people, but this is a government of Ruto, by Ruto, for Ruto. Whatever he wants, he gets, and it is very bad. And we are, like, I dare say that we have a very incompetent government. We've been told that when Gachagua was being impeached, members were paid millions of shillings to impeach Rigathi Gachagua. And when you become so cheap, you are very incompetent. I know we have members who are really learned, but when you are learned but you don't listen to your people, when you are learned but you subject yourself to be used by the executive, then you are incompetent. This is part of the deal ahead of 2027, and William Ruto and Raila Amolo Odinga are going to work. But I'm really saddened that our parliament does not follow the law. Yet this is a place where laws are being made. As a country, we should be wary. Because I know today they are doing this because they are targeting Gachagua. Tomorrow, it will be the ordinary wananchi. They will be making laws that will be very injurious to us. And I don't know what you think, but this is very bad, ladies and gentlemen. And I dare tell you and submit to you very humbly that Raila should stop going around under the pretext of listening to us. The decision was decided long time ago. It ni kutuzungusha, because I understand that there is a team that is held up in a hotel in Mombasa and they are working on the nitty-gritties. And the big announcement will be very simple. Do you think, for example, now that they have been given even the lucrative committees, Raila can say that he's not working with William Ruto? Raila will work with William Ruto.